Welcome to another episode of the No Ceilings Podcast. I'm Tyler Metcalf, joined as always by Tyler Rucker. Rucker, how are we doing?
Good afternoon. Good evening. How are we doing, sports fans? I'm doing great, Metcalf. How about yourself, sir? It's a magical time of the year.
Magical time of the year. Having a heck of a week. The traffic on over at NoCeilingsNBA.com, go check it out. Has been incredible this week. Obviously, by the title of the episode, you know that we are reacting to the most recent No Ceilings composite big board. We will get to that in just a minute. Bit of housekeeping though, in case you're living under a rock, in case you missed it, the No Ceilings 2025 NBA Draft Guide officially out, and it is a beaut. The support already has been incredible, overwhelming. You guys are the best. I dropped a link for it in the chat as well. There's also a link in the description, whether on podcast, YouTube, wherever you're consuming it. So go check it out if you haven't. And No Ceilings Plus subscribers, make sure to keep an eye out for. Go check out the post. There's a special little discount code for you as our way of appreciation for all the support. But Rucker, reactions, where are you at mentally, physically, spiritually?
Really good. In a good spot. Was really a battle zone. Like a lot of hey, look yourself in the mirror, gut check times, because I wanted to get this out as fast as possible, but I also didn't want to rush it. And you guys were great behind the scenes. You're like, don't rush it. But it turned out great. I'm really pumped about everyone's, positive. The feedback's been great because we wanted this year to give everyone what they deserve. Like we were like, let's really give something that's going to shock the fans and everything, and kind of a thank you note for the support over the years for us building No Ceiling. So I think we did that well. We'll always keep trying to push it to make it a little bit better, but so far I've been very happy with everything. And a shout out to the team. As always, you guys were keeping me sane the whole time, and it was awesome to see this kind of come together.
Yeah, so we're not going to give you the whole thing here on the stream, but just to tease it a little bit, just give you a little taste. And look at this beaut. So this is obviously the cover. We got a little intro section, and then as we scroll through these table of contents, you can see there's a lot. We went 100 players deep. There's over 300 pages of content in this bad boy. Incredible art, a lot of really good write-ups, information, badges, player comps, advanced numbers. I love how you did a graphic here for just the guards and no one else, showing your favoritism.
No, I did position breaks to give everybody a little group, and then we laughed about Battle being the first player of the whole guide to start it off, but I also thought that was awesome.
Important to note, this is alphabetical.
Yes.
In case anyone's like, Khalif Battle, number 1, bold. So this is kind of the general layout. We got some numbers, we got a write-up, some badges, sales pitch, pros, cons, shades of comps, and some advanced numbers via our friends over at Synergy, and some background notes as well. And then we got 3 pages of content on every single guy, 100 players in total. Go check it out. Team worked really hard on it. Really, really proud of it. I think it's arguably our best one yet. Not to be, biased or anything. $15, and we try to keep almost everything we do free for you guys, and this is one of the best ways you can help support us. $15, appreciate it. The love and support already has been fantastic.
Yeah, a quick disclaimer: if you haven't bought it, it's okay. I get it. Everyone's trying to get to the weekend. If you buy it, download it and save it.
Yes,
because a lot of people will email us and be like, "Hey, I ran out of download links," and it's like that's because it's set that way on purpose. So save it. If you do run into that problem, email us. We'll figure it out for you right away. We deal with it all the time, but we get a lot of questions like, "What happened? I can't look at it." Save it.
Yes, so, the link is good for one download.
Yes,
one view. So once you open it, once you click that link, download it, save it. It saves everyone a bit of a hassle, but like Rucker said,
we deal with it all the time. We'll okay.
Take care of it.
Yes.
If it takes us a minute, it's because there were 50 other people who just did the exact same thing as you, so it might just take us a minute, but we promise we'll get to it. Oh boy, anything else, Rucker?
No, it's great. I got PTSD when you just opened that, so No, it's cool. It's great, but thank you to everyone like for listening. Like we're not trying to be cheesy, but it's been really really cool. This is always my favorite week because I feel like we don't need validation at No Ceiling because I think we take pride in our stuff, but it also gives I could see the juice like the gas tank filling up with everyone on our team from the comments of like excitement and how we're like, okay, it gets us to the final stretch of the draft. So thank you guys. It's been really cool.
Okay, let's just dive in. We got a new top 60 to go through. Reminder, in case you're a new listener, welcome. Where have you been? Stick around. This is a composite board. So this is averages throughout everyone on the team. This is not just Rucker's and I's and myself's rankings. We will share our own individual rankings, our likes, dislikes, differences, all that good stuff throughout. But remember, this is average rankings across 8, 9, 10 different boards. All right. So at number 1, Cooper Flagg, 2, Dylan Harper, 3, Ace Bailey, 4, VJ Edgecombe, 5, Con Knippel. Likes, dislikes, surprises.
We went chalk, right? From the last board. I'm saying that as if like I know. Yes. I put it together. So I think it wasn't too much of a shocker. What did you think?
Yeah, agreed. Especially based on how, obviously, like when we do all these mock draft videos and discussions, you get a really good sense of where everyone else kind of steers. So even though I'm higher on some guys than others, I wasn't shocked. Yeah. So I like personally, the big difference for me is I have Trey Johnson at 3.
I think I had Trey at 4, or I have Trey at 4, VJ at 5. So I mean I get it. I think Knippel's gotten a little run here, and everyone needs to remember too. It's also like Metcalf says, it's the composite ranking. So like if you have a bunch of like, oh, you're up there, you might get the spot just because of the averages. So like I wasn't too surprised about Knippel because he's been lurking in that range, that top 5. And then I feel like you get a couple of a boost and it just gives you the edge. So I had no problem with the top 5. I get it. I understand.
Agreed. Same. And, like I have Trey at 3, Ace at 4, Con at 5, VJ at 6. So there's not a whole lot of difference on mine, just a couple spots, all, very nitpicky stuff. So none of that really surprised me.
Anything else?
No, God, that's the quickest we've gone through it.
Well, no, I mean, I get it.
No, we're good. We've talked about these guys all year. It's Cooper Flagg number 1 with a bullet. I think Dylan Harper number 2 with a bullet. And then I think it gets a little murky, and I think the average rankings get a little closer after that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It always gets a little bit murky with that stuff. I just feel like. Also, side note, Ace, I need to be a superstar because he's a quote machine. Him and Anthony Edwards, quote machines. So I don't know. I mean, it was what was the average number? We had around Aces at 3.9 and VJ was 5.1. So I mean, that's a good little drop, but you see how close it gets. We had, I think, 0.6 difference between Con and VJ, which is interesting. So no problems for me. I get it.
All right. Moving on to 6 through 10. At 6, we have Trey Johnson. 7, Derek Queen. 8, Kaman Maluach. 9, Carter Bryant. 10, Kaspers Yakashonis.
Yeah, we're getting a little fun here. We had a little heater of a jump. Carter Bryant went from 17 to 9. Thoughts, Metcalf? Hit me with it.
This feels right for Carter. This is the range I've had him for a couple months now. And it doesn't surprise me that it's a slow burn and a slow climb for him, because I think, especially given what his role and responsibilities were at Arizona this year, he's one of those guys that you really have to dive into the film and dive into the little things that he does and then try and project that out and see how the development goes. So I'm glad that he's here. It's about time. The bigs, I am definitely way lower on.
The bigs are definitely giving me a little bit of a, man, I really wish I could be buying in right now, and I'm just cooling. Carter, I completely agree with what you're saying. I think it was the classic player of like, hey, when you when you get caught up on everything, he's going to make some noise. And then I also thought, like, if has a strong pre-draft process, he's really going to go up a little bit. So I'm not surprised he's getting mocked up there or talked about it. I know we've talked about this before. A lot of teams picking late, like mid first round, love him and are worried. They're like, I don't think he's making it to us. So it's kind of the expectation where, like, I would be shocked right now if he doesn't go lottery, because we just see how much momentum you can get. But we also got 3 weeks of chaos and workouts coming up, so things could change rapidly. Do you want to go back to the bigs, or did I just kind of shove that away on a good point? I don't know what to do with them, because I get having them that high, but I also feel like I'm getting more intrigued with the guys that are maybe projected behind.
I need you to help me with Queen. Where do you have him?
We're really getting into a dark spot with you with Derek Queen to end the year, huh?
Well, a lot of it.
I've got him at 8.
Okay, I have him at 16.
Hello. I have Malawatch at 15.
I have Malawatch at 10. So we're almost flip flopped on those. I see a couple. There's some really fun paths for Queen to be awesome. It feels like there are about 10 times as many paths where it's a total disaster.
The disaster, it's becoming more of a, hey, this is a swing.
Yes. And like in the team, like the lottery team previews, so we're doing over on the site all week. Go check those out. Albert and Rowan just put one up on the Atlanta Hawks, but Jam and I got paired together for the Bulls one, and Queen was the name that he immediately pushed. And at 12, I think that's a really smart type of swing, and that's generally the range that I have Queen, and especially for a team like the Bulls who needs center help and interior scoring help, and he provides some playmaking. I weirdly enough still think he'll shoot it fine enough in the long run. Just a lot of the work rate stuff, the defensive concerns, I think they're really, really bad. And I get that there are flashes. I get that there's a game here or there where some of the defensive stuff looks really good. But I feel like his proponents, the people who are all in on him, are leaning really, really heavily on that really small sample size and enjoying and loving, rightfully so, the offensive stuff, while totally ignoring some really horrific defensive stuff.
Yeah, it was the flashes guy of this class. It feels like or stretches is what I should say. I feel like you got a good Derek Queen stretch and you're like, oh, okay, here we go, I'm in. And then you got a cold one and you're like, oh, man, I was colder earlier. Was I right then? So you kind of go hot and cold with him with your evaluation. It's also a funny, because I feel like if we were drafting him 10, 20 years ago, he's probably top 3 pick. Like if he's the old school, like feed him and let him go to work and just bully ball, like, yeah, he's probably great. So I just think it's becoming more fit dependent than we were even thinking before. I also just am convinced he's going to go one team to work out. And we talked about it before. Like he's going to have a workout where people are like, oh my gosh, look at this kid. He loves it. And I've heard rumblings, but I don't know. He's just becoming a wild card now. It's becoming a little bit of like you could talk to me about him going a bit anywhere now. I thought months ago, I thought maybe he was like he's going top 10. If he doesn't, it's because somebody else went up there. Now I'm like, I don't know. Could slip a little bit. But I just also, it's one of the guys I'm going to ask around about right away, because how much did the combine matter? Like, that's what I want to know. How much did that combine matter? And our teams are like, we were expecting it, but I'm like, you brought up a good point last time. Why are we expecting? Exactly. You brought that up.
It's like, before. So the bar's on the floor and he still didn't clear it? Like, that's tough for me. That's really tough.
If I was like, hey, he's going to have a bad combine and he went in and had a worse one, I'd be like, this is humongous red flag to me.
Yeah.
Like if I was like, I'm expecting it to be bad and it's just terrible, I'd be like, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is it just the coaching staff? Like, is it like, hey, if we have that coaching staff, we're going to unlock it? I don't know. It's a tough one. He's a puzzling one because you watch the highs and you're like, what am I overthinking here? And then you watch the lows and you're like, all right, we got to go back to the drawing board. Like, let's figure this out.
Yeah, because like the go-to for the defensive case with him is, hey, go back to that Marquette game. And he was really good in that Marquette game early in the year. I just want to know why we never saw another full game like that from him on that end of the floor. There are possessions. His hands are really quick, really active, really good rebounder. But man, some of like the awareness, the defensive stance, the discipline stuff, a lot of the year is really bad. And I don't think he's going to be one of these guys that just flat out fails. I think the offense, the rebounding, the physicality, the footwork, and even the shooting potential, I think is good enough where at minimum he's going to, like, if he's Al Jefferson, where are you taking him?
I love Al. So, I mean,
Al was a very good player with an incredible career, but
I'm taking Al lottery, but
okay.
I don't know if I'm taking him top 6.
Yeah.
Top 7. Like Queen he had the splits are all over. So he starts the year 16, 7 and 2, then goes to 17, almost 10 and 1.7, then 12 and 7, then back up to 17 and 12, and then 19 and 8. So he kind of just like, it was like a roller coaster all year. I get it. I know what you're talking about. Like the Marquette game was the first like eye opener of like, hey, whoa, like look at this.
Sitting down in the stands, moving his feet.
He had 24, 7 and 3 with 2 blocks against Marquette. And it's what I told you. I just feel like with him a little bit, it's like he played up to the games sometimes. And then he also played down to the games. Like, because then he played against Purdue on the road. He had 26 and 12. And we were all like, oh my gosh, look at Queen's shot making in this game. He's hitting some face up.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just kind of also run into some ugly stuff. Like you brought up the defense in the Florida game. Like, yeah, on the box score, it looks great. He had 27 and 5. But what does the tape tell us? And I don't know.
The defense is horrid in that.
Yeah, the whole town knows, Frank, that you don't like it. So I just
sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, but Rutgers, he had 29 and 15. Like his games when he's cooking. Big? Exactly. When he's cooking, the games are fun. But when you don't have the Derek Queen that's consistently like the motors, running, like you're like, man, can he play? What is he bringing to the table when Derek Queen's off? I think that's what's going to sit with me until the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's just easily been my toughest eval this entire draft cycle, and I've had him at 4. I've had him at 28. I've had him everywhere throughout the first round. And it's just giving me headaches. Enough on him though. Let's move on. 11 through 15. 11, we have Jeremiah Fears. 12, Yegor Demon. 13, Nate Clifford. 14, Colin Murray Boyles. And 15, Cedric Coward.
Cedric Coward is just a rocket ship. I think he had 2 jumps over like 15 spots each in the last 2 big boards. Where do you want to start? This is a spicy range here.
This is. I mean, we can start with Coward. I know we did a specific breakdown on him the other week. If you missed that, go check that out. But we can start with him. He's been the hot name on the street. Coward, so hot right now. Coward.
I'm still fascinated to see where he actually is going to go.
Yeah,
because I'm wondering if it's going to get up there that much, or if this is going to be like, because this also happens in the draft process as everyone gets cooking on someone and we start being like, oh, he go lottery, and then all of a sudden, like these next 2 weeks, he cools off a little bit, and it's like, okay,
news is always better.
Yeah, news better. That's also why the international guys get so much buzz right now because they're still playing.
Yep.
So I'm interested with Coward because I'm wondering, is this going to be a guy that gets right outside that lottery, or could he shock us and go up a little bit more? But I feel like he's going to interview very well. I feel like I've heard good stuff about that, and the measurements really helped him.
Yes, they did. He's just one of those guys to me that fits in literally any rotation. At a minimum, like elite off-ball shooter with a ridiculous wingspan, some defensive upside, some off-ball scoring versatility. That alone is typically worth a top 20 pick. If you buy into the handle continuing to improve, if you buy into him still being really early in his developmental curve based on how much he's grown as a player in just the last couple of years, now we're talking late lottery. And when you just, I haven't heard a bad thing about the kid. So I don't know. I have him at 12. And when you look in that late lottery range, there are a lot of teams where it's like, yeah, I could see him there. Like Toronto makes sense. Houston makes sense. Portland makes sense. Chicago, Atlanta, San Antonio, OKC, Orlando. Like it's a really long list of teams he makes sense on.
Yeah, I still have him a little lower. I got him at 22, and I really like him.
You hate Cedric Coward. That's tough.
I like the guys ahead of him a lot. I get really stubborn this time of year of like, why? You're popular. So I just want to watch. I'm gonna actually want to go back and watch more of his old stuff. But here's my biggest thing right now is who are all the guys that are climbing right now? It's 3-and-D guys.
Yeah,
because there's not a lot of them in this class.
Look at the two teams in the finals. What are they littered with?
You need length. You need forwards. You need guys that can space the floor and play defense. And so everyone's buzzing about Carter Bryant. Everyone's buzzing about Cedric Coward. It's a deep guard class, and then you get past that, and there's not a lot of the other stuff that are like elite. So that's why I think Coward could go early. That's why I think Carter Bryant could go early, because a lot of those teams also just don't need guards early. We get to that point in the lottery. So it wouldn't shock me if these guys are going up. And I really like his tools, but it's also just like he's interviewed great, and he can shoot it, and he's going to look great in an empty gym, and there's good length. There's great measurables. So I get it. I get the intrigue.
Also, chat, settle down. No one on this recording hates Jeremiah Fears. That would be others who just hate small guards.
Let's talk about Fears. Can we do it? I'm so glad.
Let's go for it.
What do we need to do to get the Fears campaign to the top 10? I'm going to start marketing campaigning for Fears. I love them, but this is the one we're going to have a war.
Yeah.
With no ceilings. Where do you have them?
7 in a range that goes up to 5, and I moved those 3 around almost daily.
I got them at 6. If you want Fear stock, you have to go through me. I still love them. I'm buying the tools and buying the upside. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but Metcalf, I want you to tell me if I'm being unrealistic. Me personally, this is one of my best evaluations this year in terms of adversity and responding to it and showing me something. So I just, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I also give Fears 3 years. Let's be patient here. I need him to go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn's perfect. It's the perfect marriage.
Yeah. I also kind of like him in Washington. I also like him in Utah.
One of them. Just go to the places that are going to let you play.
I kind of like him in New Orleans too.
Oh gosh.
Because all those teams have a lot of size, athleticism, and defense to kind of insulate him.
Talking about that.
I think he has a lot of upside to be really, really special. Outside of Harper, I think he's pretty clearly the best point guard in this draft. When you think about what he did as a freshman and a reclassified freshman, is really special on a bad Oklahoma team. I know they made the tournament, but you take him off that Oklahoma team, they're rough. They're really, really rough. And he had to do a lot. His level of creation responsibility and scoring responsibility and playmaking responsibility was insane for a reclassified freshman point guard. So I think you get him in a good developmental system and add NBA type strength and weight to him. I think he could be really, really special.
I can't believe how they were 13-0 at one point.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I don't think they were ready to be 13-0. And then Fears, they were just like, oh my gosh, this kid's fantastic. We have to play him all the time. And they just were like, let's basically give him a fire hydrant and just put him right there. And he just took on such a big usage and responsibility for a kid that young in that conference. And then they struggled when they faced a gauntlet, and then he battled back and finished the year strong. So I mean, he was in December, he was at 4-4 with almost 2 steals a game on 53-25 grown, 86 from the line. Then he drops down to 11-4-4, ugly splits. And everyone's like, oh, Fear's not ready yet. I thought he's still ready. And then he ended the year 22-4-4.5 on 40-30-90. So yes, the outside shot needs to come around, but like we don't see that bounce back a lot from guys. Like he really showed some grit, and I also think he was banged up when he was struggling shooting it. So I don't know. I get why people are lower, but I also just don't get if you're like, hey, I'm out on Fears. I'm like, what else do you need from this kid? This is awesome.
Yeah, I do.
The shot
just got done praising him, but I do think some of the concerns are very legitimate. He is small. He is skinny. He's should have also just graduated high school. Yeah, the rim numbers weren't great, but again, look at his physical frame right now and how much contact would have affected him. And I wish the at-rim finishing numbers were better, but then go look at the free throw numbers. So it tells a really strong story of he didn't shy away from contact. And if the big issue is finishing through contact, that tends to improve as guys get stronger. It's a lot easier to fix that than it is to change a mindset, where if he was bad finishing at the rim and drawing 0 fouls, and on film we saw him trying to avoid contact and be afraid of contact at the rim, that would be really concerning to me. That's not what I saw though all year. The shot needs to get better. Plain and simple. There's some promising indicators depending on what you like to lean on. You can make an argument either way. I think he'll get there, but if you don't, I definitely get being lower on him.
Yeah, the shot needs to get there. There's just some tape too where I watched where I was like, oh my gosh, he's having to take like hand grenade threes from teammates giving him the ball with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Florida, he had a play where he like drove and kicked to a guy wide open. They passed up the shot, and I was like, what are you doing? Shoot it. And then gave it to Fears, and he hit like a step back falling out of bounds 3 with 1 second left on the shot clock. But I was like, goodness. And the free throw thing is legit. Like he beginning of the year was getting to the lane or the line around 6 times a game. When he was banged up and they were struggling, it was down to like 5. The end of the year, he was 9 attempts a game. So like he's a free throw merchant. I just want to see, like, I like his mentality and what you said. He should have been a senior in high school. Like let's let the body and frame develop a little bit.
Yeah, and that lull you pointed to at the start of conference play, horrific, like legitimately horrific scoring numbers. Also, that's what tends to happen when guys skyrocket from 5th on the scouting report to number 1 as a freshman, and he bounced back. So if I'm wrong on him, I'm wrong, but I'd be very, very excited.
Yeah. What else we got?
Okay, let's move on to 16 through 20. At 16, we have use your words. Nice. Noah Senge, 17, Rasheer Fleming, 18, Danny Wolf, 19, Asa Newell, 20, Thomas Sorber.
Spicy range. Metcalf hit me. What you got?
I was kind of surprised. The team seems to be cooling a little on Danny Wolf.
I think he's right at the same.
I guess he's right at the same.
Yeah, he's right at the same. I was a little
maybe just how he gets talked about.
Yeah, it's the classic. We can't talk. It's the classic. I really like him, but can I move him above somebody else? So I feel like Danny is this the height of the Danny Wolf love?
Oh man, the height, that's tough. Quick little game of. Okay, Danny Wolf.
Going.
Danny Wolf or CMB?
CMB.
Okay, Danny Wolf or Queen?
Queen.
Oh, you hesitated more on that one. That's
Sorry. I was double checking my first answer.
Danny Wolf or Asa?
I'm an Asa guy. I'm gonna say Asa still.
Okay, Danny
They're
Wolf
really
or
close.
Sorber?
Sorber. How dare you? Are these all the same for you, or you have Danny Wolf above everyone?
Danny Wolf or Malawach?
I have Malawach. I'm not that much of a hater, guys.
Wow, you really hate Danny Wolf.
No, I don't. I have Danny at 21. I've had him around there.
Yeah, so you hate him. So you have him low. You're what's dragging the average down.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy.
Caught. Well, okay. So what else did you need to see from Danny Wolf? What has you skeptical?
It's not that. It's just my 21 to 16. I don't have much, like it flops every day. Like I might have had those guys in complete different order last time. I don't think there's a ton of separation for me. It's guys like Rasheer and Asa and I'm still buying Traore. I've got him up there now. Danny, it would be a player that if I was running a team, my board might have Danny at the top of that ranks, depending on like what we're looking at. So I just think he's a roster construction type of guy. Like if you are drafting Danny to be your full-time big, what do you have around him? If you're drafting Danny to be alongside someone or also be just like a really fun wrinkle where it's like, okay, our starting big's coming out. Now Danny can play small ball 5 and we're spacing out and have shooters around, like, oh, hell yeah. But I don't know. Well, I mean, am I unrealistic? I don't know. You love him, so talk to me.
Yeah, because I just think he can do so much more than almost anyone else in this class.
Are you playing a full-time 5? Like starting?
Depends who I have on the team. Like if he goes to San Antonio, no, I'm starting him at the 4.
But like if I was running the Spurs, Danny Wolf might be at 14 on my board or 13 or 12. Like because I think.
Or OKC, him and Chet, him and Hart make a lot of sense. I just think there are a lot of. I think he's really versatile. Where you can play him at the 5, your defense is probably going to struggle because he's not a good primary rim protector at all. But I think he generally moves his feet well enough in space. And when you look at this year compared to last year, huge leap in improvement. So if whatever team does take him tries to scale him down to the 4 a little more, I think we're going to see another kind of step in terms of improvement. I'm not saying lockdown or super versatile or switching on to point guards or anything, but enough where he can hold his own. I think he's a smart team defender, but just offensively, the stuff that you can do with him, where at Yale, he was a more prototypical center. And then at Michigan, he played point guard. So I don't really care about whether or not his shot diet was ideal or the types of shots, whether he overly relied on step backs, because he's never going to be taking those in the NBA. But he proved that he can generate a lot of that stuff. And now when you scale that down out of a primary creator role and into more of a pick and pop, inverted pick and roll kind of stuff, DHO keeper, pushing in transition, off of live rebounds, that kind of stuff as a complementary piece, that's where I think it gets insanely fun.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think if it just comes down like Rasheer, Danny, those are guys that what does my team look like? Because they're going to be probably much different rankings compared to somebody else's team. Like there's a run of guys in this draft where you ask everyone and you get a different answer because it's just they're team dependent, like players. I think Danny's more of like if I have good pieces around Danny Wolf, like he's going to be really high up on my board because my gosh, look at what this could be with him. Think of the spacing and what you could do offensively. So it's not that I'm low on him. I think that's the range where I'm like, this could get a little bit more fit dependent. And I always think I have Danny too low. Like I just always do. Cause I'm like, why wouldn't I just buy in more? But now I got a target on my back, so I'm pumped about it.
These are important revelations that you hate Cedric Howard, you hate Danny Wolf, so I think you just hate upperclassmen. Got it, understood.
Everyone knows that's not true.
You're an ageist. It's fine. Hey, I'm just letting your board speak for itself. Anything else on this group?
I'm really pumped about the Noah run lately.
Yeah, he's been playing well.
Really pumped about it. No, I don't really have any other burning thoughts. This is a range of guys that I think could go all over the place.
Yeah.
Especially these guys. So
it wouldn't shock me if half of them went top 15 and the other half went 25.
And you could throw a dart at which name. I think they're all up for discussion right now. Like no one has a clear answer. So I'm going to be asking more about these guys. So go ahead.
Okay, moving on to 21 through 25. At 21, we have Liam McNeely, 22, Jace Richardson, 23, Ben Seraph, 24, Walter Clayton, 25, Nolan Traore. Where do you want to start?
Murphy says hi to all the listeners.
Murph.
I don't know. Where you want to start?
This is a funky range.
It is.
It feels like a lot of guards that people don't necessarily love, but also aren't willing to completely sell.
The Jace fall was a little bit expected, but I also think like right around there, a little higher is where the talks are going to start.
Yeah.
McNeely up here is just the classic. I think people are like, well, hey, at some point, if you're getting McNeely,
if you're getting a 6'8" shooter.
Yeah. I also like he measured bigger than I thought. And if you're buying that the shot's going to come around, like you're getting that at 20s, you're probably pretty pumped if you're an NBA team.
It wouldn't shock me at all if 5 years from now we do a redraft or something and he's like top 10, clearly. Where it's like, how did he fall? Like what? 6'8" shooter, hell of a history of being an awesome shooter and off-ball creator when he's not the guy. Wouldn't shock me.
Wouldn't shock me. Yeah, it's a tough guard range right here because I do think it's people are struggling to be like, hey, I really want to buy back in. Seraph, like I don't know what to do with Seraph because I feel like he could go so much earlier than this, but I also feel like there's probably like 27-ish guys that I could see going in the top 20. So I'm like, well, who's gonna fall out? Like it's just, I don't know. What about you?
Walter Clayton, someone who continues to kind of rise a little bit for me, just based on evaluating him for who he is and not what I kind of wish he was, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think he's an awesome playmaker. The defense needs some work. But that dude's an insane shot maker and insane shooter. And if you're getting him in the mid to late 20s, get pretty excited about that. Kind of what you were saying about Seraph, where it's like he's a real, do I go with my head or my heart type of prospect, because my heart is in love. I love the size. I love the defensive playmaking. I love the offensive playmaking. I think he's one of the top 2-3 playmakers in this class. But then you look at the shot, it's like, not sure I buy it. So it's just a tough range. And then you got Nolan Traore, who measured really well and has been playing lights out basketball down the stretch here.
Yeah, Traore it was a big measurement today. Well, he's 6'3", barefoot with 6'8" wingspan off the top of my head.
Yeah, he was somewhere in the range of like +5, +6.
Yeah, so
I believe it was Wasserman who had the measurements first.
Yeah, I think he had that. I think it was like 175 though, which I was like,
Yeah.
That's he's looked much better. I caught up on his stuff before the pod. He's looked much better. I still think he's a wild card. I still think I could think he's going much earlier than this. There's just a couple names that people are like, if it's going to be like this for the next couple of weeks, if I keep hearing the same thing, the people might be shocked. Day of the draft, a couple names that the public has much lower than teams. So I don't know. Traore's like right in that mix. When he's been great second half of this season. So Clayton, man, I really like him. But I get what you're saying. But there's also just a world where I'm like, man, if I was a playoff contender,
that's kind of where I'm at. Where it's like you get that type of shot maker coming off the bench,
because
it's fun.
His shooting Metcalf with like how he can be all over the place, and then like the fundamentals are still locked on shooting. Like his lower body can just be like going any direction possible, but he's just locked in straight. Like it's that, that chaotic Steph vibes where you're just like, how can you still get off a shot beautifully with this much chaos? feel like he's got that little like, oh, there's not a lot of room, but he can still get his shot whenever he wants. So if you get that in a playoff rotation, like a playoff team's rotation, you're just like, oh, this is a lightning in a bottle. I don't know. Anything else?
No, I don't think so in this group.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I'm always jumping the gun because I think I'm trying to be on time, but you just like go a little crazy. I mean, what?
How dare you? No, do you got something else with them?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to move on to 26 through 30. At 26, we got Will Riley. 27, Adu Thiero. 28, Ryan Kalkbrenner. 29, Hugo Gonzalez. And 30, Johan Berenger.
It was funny putting the big board graphics together because I was like, clearly the range of guys that left the draft that you're taking their place now. Like Kalkbrenner rose up a bunch, and it's like, Thiero go up a little bit. Will Riley's still interesting to me. I'm going to try to figure out where he's going to go. I don't know about this range because
it's kind of gross.
Well, Hugo and Berenger, I don't know.
They're going to go higher than this.
They're going to go higher than this.
The Hugo fall was surprising to me. And I mean, his 24 to 29, so it's not massive, but it was surprising. We're now flirting with second round rankings with him. And
where do you have him?
22, 23.
I have him at 20. I have him at 23. I was like, hey guys, Hugo almost second round. What are we doing here?
Yeah. You look at the numbers and it's like first round, what are we doing here? But that's how young prospects on international teams tend to go, especially ones who are as loaded as Real. So I chalk that up to an opportunity, not a skill set.
I was on the pod today with Josh Lloyd, and he was asking me, shout out Josh, and he was asking me about Hugo, and I was like, everyone doesn't realize how good the Real Madrid team is.
Yeah.
And while he was on the air, he looked up, he goes, oh my gosh. He was just like, look at all these guys. And I was like, yeah, so the fact that he's even getting 11 minutes is unbelievable. But I mean, middle of the year, I asked a team about him, and they're like, I got him in my lottery. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay. And they're like, yeah, I know everything I need to know about Hugo. I've watched him the last couple of years. He's a heck of a talent. He's on a tough team, but also like he's practicing with that NBA team all year. Like the team has got a lot of, so I don't know. I like the growth that he's shown with like the ability to be an off-ball guy, but I get everyone. It's tough. I wish we had a way to have a crystal ball of like, look it's okay. The guys that don't play overseas, it's okay, but it's tough. And that's where the scouting departments come into play of like, they have been seeing these guys in practices in person over the years too. So I still like Hugo a lot. I get worried I'm low on him.
Agreed. Because like when you go back and watch the Spain FIBA stuff, he's insanely fun. And his play style, when he's really thriving like that, it kind of reminds me, he's not quite as big, but it kind of reminds me of what we've seen with Denny going from Washington to Portland, where it's like they empower him to be a frenetic defender and get out in transition and push and have the ball in his hands. And they don't just plant him in the corner as a spot up shooter, which he's not. And that's kind of what Hugo's been, just put in a corner with this Real team, and, rightfully so, given how loaded they are. But you obviously have to earn those opportunities. But I think if you're going to get the best out of him, that's a type, at least stylistically, that I think he thrives best in.
I think he averaged around like 18, 6, and 4 during the Adidas Next Generation tournament or whatever. Or if it's not Adidas anymore, I'm used to it being Adidas. So I mean, he can play. He's exciting. He's athletic. He's like a tip dunk athlete that can come out of nowhere. That's an unbelievable. That's one of my favorite comments we've ever had the whole year. Shout out Regulator. Nobody puts Hugo in the corner. That's literally one of my favorite comments I've ever seen on the show. So yeah, I like him a lot. Him and Berenger.
Yeah, I think both of them. I would be more surprised if they both fall past 20 than if they both go top 20.
But that's the point we're at, Metcalf, is like, well, if they both fall out, then who else is falling? Like, there's going to be value falling. And there's just too many names teams are intrigued with as top 20 guys. I'm like, there's too many names, guys.
Yeah.
It's more than 20 names. You can't do that. You can't tell me that all these guys are going to be in the 20s. So I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
Okay, let's move on to 31 through 40. At 31, we have Janiah Broom, 32, Maxime Reynaud, 33, Cam Jones, 34, Bogey Markovich, 35, Drake Powell, 36, Kobe Brea, 37, Noah Penda, 38, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, big riser, 39, Tyrese Proctor, and 40, Hanson Yang.
Hanson Yang, baby. Where do you want to start? There's a lot of chaos in this range. Really pumped about you having to say Niederhauser as much as possible. Niederhauser. I want him to be great because it'd just be a fun name to always say. Hit me with some thoughts here. We haven't talked about a lot of these guys.
So I have like one game left in my Auburn dive. I don't see it.
With Broom?
Yeah.
He's not my cup of tea.
No, he feels like just the classic, insanely productive and dominant college player, and I'm good.
All right, here we go. Here's give me the this or that music. I'm gonna play it for you. I need it. Come on, everyone needs it. It gets the people going. Niederhauser or Janiah Broom?
Niederhauser. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. It's just a little more fun. I'm gonna go Yannick there.
I need a clip you saying it. Needs to be a button. I know how you like Markovich over him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maxime Reynaud or Janiah Broom. Okay, good. I'm not going to spoil these, so let me get one more. Spiciness. Oh gosh, we really dropping the bigs, huh?
Yeah.
Vlad Golden or Janiah Broom?
I'm still going Broom.
Okay.
Don't sleep on Vlad.
Eric Dixon or Janiah Broom?
Oof. Give me another weekend.
But
Broom.
I like
Broom at 40.
I give him at 46.
Woo!
It's me, Auburn. It's me. I'm the guy.
Like every name we've talked about. It's like, I have like 40 spots lower.
Come target me. It's just not me. It's just not my cup of tea. No. I've been trying all year to buy in. I'm just not. I wouldn't draft that too early. Now I get the potential and stuff, but there's other guys I like.
Like Mr. Drake Powell, who you have up here. Who has recently been linked to the Chicago Bulls.
Oh gosh, I love that we're talking about this.
Which in a vacuum, okay, kind of, you have Julian Phillips at home, but sure. If they're being linked to him at 12, get the fuck out of here. I love Powell's defense. I love the athletic tools. I like him long term. I think he still has a lot of upside. I like him as a late first round flyer. If you're taking him lottery, he better have shot 150% in his workout.
I like him. Look, if you,
I have him at 30.
The kid, go ahead.
No, I like the potential, and the defense is insane. But what are we doing?
Where do you have him?
30.
I have him at 33. I like Drake a lot. If he went to your workout and just here, if I'm picking 12th, he goes to your workout. Oh my gosh, Drake Powell had the best workout we've seen in years. We absolutely love the kid. I'm still trading back to get him.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this just reeks of smoke. It's too early for this stuff to be leaking. It's a smoke city. So I'm like, okay, are you putting out a smoke screen early? Like, who's going to be like, oh gosh, the Bulls are taking Drake at 12. We're screwed. I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying it. I can't wait to ask. I actually lie about that. This is the stuff that gives me nightmares to ask around about, because I feel like someone's going to get the text and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Excuse my language. I don't know. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. I think he could slip into the 20s. He's a big time
late first round, especially if you have multiple picks. I love it. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you had multiple picks and you're just like, hey, we can't afford to lose, fine. If you're on the clock, you can't get a trade, fine. But man, that one was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm buying it because it is a big time recruit that teams don't go off of just one season, but still 12 for me is just like really aggressive. Anyways.
All right.
Colorful rant.
Apologies.
No
disrespect meant to Mr. Powell.
No, yeah, no disrespect. It's
more associated with the team.
Yeah.
We mentioned him a couple times. So let's talk about Yannick. Rise makes sense to you? Just the classic uber athletic 7-footer that people are like, why not?
Makes some sense. Kind of catching up on his stuff right now. Just wanting to get like a more of like a, hey, am I really going in on this or what's up? But what do you think? I get it. It seems like there's a range in this draft where the big depth gets a little shallow. So I thought it was smart for him to stay in.
Yes.
I'm wondering if he goes a little earlier than we're maybe ready for.
It wouldn't shock me if he sneaks into the first.
I feel like I've heard the same thing.
And I get it. He's huge. He's freaking massive. The shot blocking numbers are a lot of fun. He also jumps at literally everything. So if you look at his like per 40 foul numbers, he's fouling out of every game and then some.
Wait, I might love that. We have a complete just Tasmanian devil as a big man. I actually might be like, oh great. But that's always interesting and scary. And I have talked to a couple scouts. They're like, I always want the guys that we need to pull back. We need to calm them down. I don't want to have to be like, we need to unlock the guy. We need to get the motor going. So is it just like, is it so aggressive that you're scared you can't slow it down?
So his freshman year at Northern Illinois, his per 40 minutes personal fouls was at 11.3.
Oh my gosh. He fell out of summer league. This is amazing.
His sophomore year at Northern Illinois, he dropped it down to 5.2. And this year at Penn State is at 4 per 40. It's a work in progress. He's still really raw, but in terms of vertical spacing, in terms of shot blocking, he's really fun and he's really athletic. And if you buy into toning that down a little bit, it won't shock me if like at a minimum, if his baseline is just a really solid backup center, which is incredibly valuable in the league. So
good. He had good advanced numbers. I know when we were putting the guide together, I was like, Yannick, huh?
Yeah,
like same percent.
Everything's a dunk.
Yeah. Well, it was just funny. It's like transition. He was 95th, and pick and roll man, he was 88th. I was like, gosh, man, getting up here. So, a little bit of a late bloomer, but I think it's an intriguing one that I'm just trying to get better. That's one right now. I was doing my board, and I was like, man, maybe I'm a little low here. Maybe this could climb a little bit more. But definitely an intriguing one. Niederhauser. What else you got?
Okay, let's move on. 41 through 50. 41, Elijah Martin. 42, Kobe Sanders. 43, Javon Small. 44, Micah Peavy. 45, RJ Lewis. 46, Sion James. 47, Chaz Lanier. 48, Alex Tui. 49, Hunter Salas. And 50, Max Scholga.
Just pick one. Dealer's choice. I'm
Kobe
still a
Sanders.
Javon's. Yeah, Kobe Saunders. You love him?
Love him.
Good. I hear he loves you too. That's great. I like a lot of these guys in this range. I like them a lot. I love Elijah Martin. It's one of my guys.
Yeah, same. Where do you have him?
Where do I have him? That's a great question. People are asking. I have him at 40.
Wow. Way higher than the average.
Yeah, people are like, hey, calm down.
We found one guy that you're just barely higher
Just
on.
barely. But it's also 40 where I'm like, I was like, am I too high on him? And then now I keep wanting to move him up. Where do you have Kobe?
34.
I'm at 36, so easy, guys.
He's so much fun. I actually really like a lot of these names, like Javon Small.
I love him.
Plug, backup point guard, really, really fun. RJ Lewis, bizarre decision to stay in. I can't believe how rapidly negative the buzz on him turned after just a disastrous final game. Going into that game, people were like, "Oh, he's a first rounder. Oh, could he be lottery?" And then he just has a disaster of a game. To be fair, I never had him that high. I didn't think any of that made sense. But now people are like, he's not even draftable. It's like, well, okay. I think there's a middle ground here, and I think he could be a really kind of fun second round swing and kind of value add. But passing up the alleged money that he did in college, that was a choice.
This great. I agreed. Weird. It was also weird when we were getting first round buzz. I was like, what are we doing here? This is a really good range right now because this is where like, hey, the depth took a little bit of a hit, I thought, in this class, but then you kind of pivot and you're like, well, there's some nice specialists, if you want to put it that way. There's some nice pieces here that I really like PV. I'm intrigued. I love Martin and Javon Small are just two of my guys. And I'm like, go get one of them. Yeah, you might be surprised. And then Kobe Saunders, I think, could be a diamond in the rough. You just unlock that outside shot consistently. Like you have a very, very talented player in the second round. So I think there's some really good names here.
Yeah. And then just to wrap up the top 60, at 51, we have Jameer Watkins, 52, Peyton Sanford, 53, Will Richard, 54, Dink Pate, 55, Victor Locken, 56, Brooks Barnheiser, 57, Eric Dixon, 58, Bryce Williams, 59, Amari Williams, and 60, Roko Zakarski.
Any thoughts?
No.
Could.
I don't know. That Will Richard feels way too low. I just
it does
my piece today, and just the more you watch that Florida team, the more he continues to pop. Just doing a lot of the little things. Like it wouldn't shock me if he is the Vince Williams from this class, where he's not a superstar, but just a really reliable value add 3-and-D rotation guy. I've just really enjoyed how his game has grown every single year. Peyton Sanford, I was kind of happy to see up here because that dude just went through hell. And if he's even remotely healthy, I got to believe that he is significantly better than a 34% shooter.
I would be getting Will Richard. If I was a smart team, I would be getting Will Richard. He's the one guy that when you go back and look at stuff, like his analytic deep dive for me was like I kind of did like am I on the right guy here? You just, there's some stuff where you're like, okay, there could be, I like the Vince Williams shot. There could be a little bit of a gold find at some point in this draft. His shot chart looks like it's in hell. It's just bright red everywhere. So, and there's some good percentiles. I mean, I know he's a little bit more of a specialist, but still, I think that's the range where you kind of want to get that. Hey, maybe this is a guy that we put on a two-way that's in the G that all of a sudden turns out to be a good rotation piece. So I think that's a good shout out. I don't know. Sanford's a good wild card too, because just I think much better than the season he had. I think he was banged up a lot. And I don't know why Metcalf. I love Eric Dixon. I just absolutely love him.
Yeah, he's continues to grow on me too. And his shooting numbers just really fun.
I watched his tape and because I was like, am I crazy? And I watched his tape and I was like, this dude just has the biggest FU factor. Like as a playoff team, I'd go draft him.
Green light.
He gets hot and he's just like,
he'll shoot
that
it
big. And it's like, he will shoot it and you will be scared when he's shooting it. Like he could just get where like the basket's the ocean and you can't miss. And you're like this big of a human. Yeah. I don't know. He's just a good sleeper that I would be like, just get him in the second. You might be shocked that you found your backup forward off the bench. I don't know.
Well, George Niang 2.0. I'm fascinated to see what Zikarsky does, whether he stays in or not.
He's gigantic.
He's a massive human being.
Not small.
And he
at
moves
all.
like it, unfortunately, too.
Yeah, that's usually those two worlds usually go together.
Yeah. Anyone that you had hired that didn't make it, or that you were surprised didn't make it, or anything like that?
I still like Vlad Golden a little bit. I thought he might have snuck in there.
He's close for me.
You know what? Did Tanji not make it? Now that I'm just sitting and thinking, I'm a little shocked about Tanji too.
I'm the problem. It's me.
It's you. Good. Polakidis thought could have snuck in there.
Okay.
What about you? Any names?
Cam Matthews, I like a lot. Be cool if you could score it all.
Yeah, that was my follow-up question.
The passing and defense are really, really fun though. But turns out being able to score is kind of important. So
yeah, I like those guys. I just feel like at this point now are those two-way targets that you're like, hey, we're hoping we at least develop a little bit of the offense to get them on the roster consistently. But I don't know. I mean, is the defense might be that good?
I kind of think it is. And he's so freaking strong and big that I think he can kind of guard up a little more too. So can you play him with the stretch five and do some like DHO stuff or some inverted pick and roll stuff? I don't know. I think there are just some fun ways that you could kind of use him. Also wrote about him in my piece over at NoCeilingsNBA.com today. Anything else on those guys?
No, I mean, any other... The problem is like it really does get deep. So I'm trying to figure out, was there any other names that you were like, I thought, but I think also there's some names that people are just expecting to go back or like,
yeah, I think there are a couple of international guys who won't shock me if they climb into the next or last version.
If Dallas, I think we're expecting him to either
go college.
If he wasn't, I think he'd be a lot higher. So for
Ruzit,
all the YouTube army that's probably going to comment, just calm down.
I have Lamont Butler a lot higher.
I think you might be onto something with Lamont Butler. It was fun doing his bio on the guide. I was like, I'm kind of in on Lamont. I should have had him probably a little bit higher. There's a lot of guys where I'm not surprised they didn't make the top 60, but I also think they're really intriguing. Like, keep an eye on them as two-way guys. I still like Curtis Jones. I like Nemhard. I just think there's clear signs like Jackson Money was interesting. Jonathan Dier. I think Ben Henschel would have been a name.
He would be higher for me, but I have him in like the 70s, but I'm just kind of expecting him to go to college. So
somewhere in a state that's warm, that's been getting a lot of players lately. So I don't know.
Won some hardware recently.
May have just won some things. There's a lot of names. It's always fun. Zikarsky getting back up there. I was just like, of course, Zikarsky. Of course.
It's like, God, that many people dropped out? Okay, here we are. But before we wrap up, we have some housekeeping to do in the green room.
Yes.
It's been a minute, been a couple weeks, and we got some changes to make. So the No Ceilings Green Room is the most exclusive club in the basketball world, and especially the draft world. No more than 14 guys get in. It is not our lottery rankings. It's based on vibes, potential production, vibes. Currently in there, we only have 12, and we're about to have 11. So currently in there, Cooper Flagg, Trey Johnson, Derek Queen, Dylan Harper, Kasparis Yakashonis, Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe, Kaman Malawach, Jeremiah Fears, Con Knippel, Cedric Coward, and Tahad Pettiford. Goodbye. He went home. In line, Danny Wolf, Neek Clifford, LeBaron Philon went home. Carter Bryant, Hanson Yang, Noah Senge, Nolan Traore, Kobe Sanders, Maxime Reynaud.
Dirty Dancer, thank you. I have one. I didn't.
What, were you busy making graphics for something else?
Yeah, I was busy. I have had one. I have a new updated one, but Metcalf always shocks me. So that's on me. I'll have it for the next one. I will have it. Pettiford bounced. See ya.
Bye.
Had too much fun. Little man can't
Little too much fun.
Can't handle the club. The little guy.
LeBaron Filan talked a big game. Couldn't hang.
Yeah, couldn't hang.
That one shocked
God.
me. I know we talked about it last episode, but surprised he bowed out. I guess that Alabama money came through.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else in the club that you want to boot, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I feel like no name popped out. I was trying to figure out who popped out, and I was like, oh, Pettiford. Who's in line? One more time.
Wolf, Clifford, Bryant, Yang, Asenge, Traore, Sanders, Reno.
Hanson Yang's
so hot right now. Hanson Yang, so hot.
Did Hanson get picked up by Clutch because they're mad he's waiting in line? People are asking. Oh. Clutch is like, no, our guy doesn't wait in line. They picked him up in a limo, took him down.
I think they're actively looking for him, and by next week they may have found him. But
I'd say he gets in because he needs to get. We need a guy that's going to connect with the bigs. So it'd be like, hey,
see, last
Hanson's
time we have too many bigs.
Try to make a joke of like the Chappelle show. Where it's like, Yao Ming's been learning some street talk. I don't know. Hanson could get in.
Does a Mr. Traore sneak in given his current height?
If he doesn't get in now, he's never getting in.
We got room, and we're running short on time.
Or the green room?
I think he's in.
Okay, he's in. Fine. Wow. Foreign relations.
He's not all the he's just in the early layer of the bar, and
the coat room
hasn't established a booth yet. But I think he's in, searching for space to carve out, getting in line for a drink.
I think he knew someone at the front door, and he's like, "Hey, can you get me in?" And they're like, "Yeah, let me talk." And it's just everything worked out the right way. He got in, and everyone's like, "We got him in." So okay, Traore's in, but he's being careful because he's like, I'm very excited to be here. Don't want to ruin this. It's like a night at the Roxbury when they've been waiting in line forever and they finally get in. Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. What else?
Anyone else getting in? Danny Wolf, Nick Clifford, Carter Bryant, Hanson Yang, Noah Senge, Kobe Sanders, Maxime Reno. Anyone else getting in line?
Noah, I think, has got to get in because he's on fire. The green room's turning into the international green room. We're making a market overseas. I don't know what Nick Clifford and Danny Wolf have to do to get in, but the idea of them hanging out in line seems like a best friend movie franchise. What do you think?
I think either Carter or Asenge have to get in.
Oh, Carter needs to get in. What am I thinking?
Should we go Carter?
Both?
We want to max out the green room?
No. We can't do it because we've got 3 weeks left, so we have to do a green room episode each week.
Yeah,
have to do it.
Okay, great. So awesome. We're at 13. Anyone else you want to put in line?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I got one.
Yeah.
Yannick Conan Niederhauser. Niederhauser. Just for the vibes.
I love it.
Get him in line.
I spell his name wrong every freaking time. I before E.
Spell checked it 14 times when I was doing the guide. Do we make a rule that like we have to have green room nominations by a certain week and there's no more people that can get in line?
I think it's just until draft.
Okay. Anyone else for you?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Can I preemptively put Hugo Gonzalez in line? Not in the club. Okay.
Yeah. Hugo's been at the new fun club down the street, and he's just like, I'm having a great time, but I need some different vibe. He's like, the other one's just way too tense. Maybe it's like really intense disco, like house music. He's like, hey, I need something to kind of bring me to level. So he's like, hey, I hear the green room's great. Let's check it out. So yeah, he's in line.
Alrighty. Cool. I think we're good. We got one open spot left. But Rucker, this was a blast. Thank you as always for everyone in the chat, watching live, watching after, or listening after. We love you all. You're the best. Make sure to go over to NoCeilingsNBA.com where you can find our version 8 of our composite big board, not just Rucker's and mine. There's our composite board, No Ceilings Plus. Subscribers do have access to all of our individual boards as well as a little thank you discount code for the draft guide, which is live. Link in the description. It's pinned up on NoCeilingsNBA.com. We're really proud of it. The support early on has been incredible. If you can make it work, it helped and spend the $15 on it. We really, really, really do appreciate it. And it just helps us keep doing all of this stuff for free. So you guys are the best, but he is Tyler Rucker. You can find him on Twitter at Tyler_Rucker. I am Tyler Metcalf. You can follow me at TMetcalf11. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time. See ya.